talk to you today a little bit about urethane and urethane-like bowling balls. So that type of shape is inherently going to be earlier and much smoother down the lane. So what does that really mean? So we would categorize that as traction ball motion. So you might use something like that on, a pattern that's harder, like a PBA Tour pattern, a shorter pattern. You're not really going to be using a whole lot of urethane on, a house shot. A house shot, the ratios are higher, typically aren't super difficult depending on where you are. What you're going to be wanting to look for out of these urethane bowling balls, and specifically with the moves, is that the moves are going to be more parallel moves and not necessarily moves to open up the launch angle. What I mean by that is you'll be making more like 1-and-1 moves, 2-and-2 moves, maybe an occasional 2-and-1, but you're not going to be getting the massive 6-and-3 moves with a urethane bowling ball. And the reason why is because the urethane balls are going to hook early and be tamer down the lane. You see how that made a gradual move to the head pin and it did not get further down the lane before it started to hook? That is a characteristic of urethane bowling balls. So when these guys are using that type of shape, they aren't necessarily going to be opening up the launch angle a whole lot. Some of them will be able to, simply just because the rev rate's higher, they have more axis rotation, so they'll be able to get a little bit more of that launch angle to be open, as opposed to somebody like you and I that has to really focus on those 1-and-1s or the 2-and-2s to really get that ball going in the right direction. There's actually a two-handed lefty right there throwing a backup ball, which is interesting, especially on the fresh, but hey, whatever you gotta do to strike, that's what matters. Strike however possible. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Something to think about while you are bowling in competition with a urethane bowling ball. Keep those moves in mind. Try to stay away from the larger launch angle changes, simply because the ball hooks too early and it's way tamer down lane. So you're not necessarily going to be getting a whole lot of back end reaction, especially when the lane starts to transition. So if you have any questions, need more information, check us out at ccdbowling.com. Dustin Zahner with Creating the Difference. Have a great day.